Hey, my name is Dr. Sean Golden, and in this video, I want to explain to you guys just a few tips that I think can really help you and make a difference for those of you that are working from home. You see, since the lock-ins and the lockdowns and COVID going on all year round, many more people are working from home, and what that's doing is it's causing a lot more neck, upper back, shoulder, and lower back pain. And as a chiropractor, I see that all day long. I'm seeing that a lot more often as people are working from home, these chronic injuries. So I want to give you really quick just some easy strategies, easy exercises you could do at home that can really help to prevent any of that pain from coming in the first place. Or if you're starting to feel it, it can help mitigate it or possibly completely get rid of your pain. Now, there's a lot of different things and things you might need to address when you have neck pain, back pain, and so on. But really what I'm going to show you are some big hitters that cover a lot of the core issues of what's going on. So just, pay attention, take some notes. I think this is really going to help you. The first thing that I want to go over is neck pain. As we sit for hours on end, which we're not meant to do, because if you think about it, before 1990 or so, personal computers weren't even around. So never before in human history have we sat for hours on end like we are now. So what that's doing to us is it's getting us in these positions that are causing this chronic stress on certain muscles. When we're sitting, most of us don't sit with perfect posture with our head back. We end up getting into this position where we're kind of slunched, our heads forward, and more so even at home because we just don't have a good setup. And even if we do have a good setup, there's no such thing as perfect ergonomics because we're just not meant to sit in one place for so long. So my first tip for you guys is, even if you don't follow any of the other instructions I give you, a huge thing that most people completely overlook is taking frequent breaks. You just have to get up. If you notice yourself sitting for 2 to 3 hours on end, that's what's making you feel what you feel. You gotta get up, you gotta take walks, you gotta take breaks. A lot of times at work, at least you'd walk to the bathroom, but when you're at home, the bathroom is sometimes a few feet away, so you don't even get your walk in. It's like a 1-minute walk, so it doesn't count. Get up and just move around. That's gonna make a huge difference. Now, when we're sitting, a lot of times our shoulders go forward, our head goes forward, and we start to develop this neck pain. Now, when we feel that neck pain, a lot of times we just want someone to massage it. But what we really need to do is we need to address the cause. If we just massage it and we go back into this position, then the neck pain is going to come back. And it's the same thing for upper back pain. If you have upper back pain, it's because your shoulders are rolled forward and you're sitting in this position for a long time. It makes your back start to get stretched for hours on end. It's the same feeling as if you fall asleep on the couch one night with your head cocked like this. Your neck is going to start screaming at you in a few hours when you wake up. So the goal, what you have to do to address this is not to just work on these muscles, but you have to work on the cause. And that cause is actually the pecs. You see, even if you have bad posture and you're trying to correct your posture by pulling your shoulders back, you're just engaging the exact muscles that we want to relax. So that's not going to be the solution. You can't massage the back. You can't just pull your shoulders back. Those strategies can help short term, but they're not going to help long term. So the first tip, the first strategy I want to give you for the neck and upper back pain is addressing the pecs. I'm going to show you that in just a few seconds. I want to show you this muscle here called the levator scapula. This muscle connects the right at the shoulder blade, the scapula here. It connects from there all the way up into the base of the skull. And it's a key muscle for most people that have this upper back or neck pain. When that muscle gets tight, it's because the shoulders are rolled forward and the head is rolled forward, pulling that muscle from both ends. The solution is to keep our shoulders back. And the way that we get there is by opening up the pecs so that the shoulders naturally sit back. So let me show you how to do that right now. All right, so to stretch your pecs, you can do this really one of two ways. I'm going to show you both ways over here. The first way is you find a corner of a wall. It doesn't have to be a door. It could be any corner as long as you have space enough to kind of do the stretch. So find a corner of a wall, put your hands, keep your elbows so they have a little bit of a bend to them. Don't go all the way straight out at the beginning. You want to have a little bit of a bend. Then what you're going to do is walk in, and you can even push with your hands a little bit if you want to, but you want to walk in so that you get all the way to the corner of the wall here. And then you can chill out there for a minute or two. And we just want to open up our pecs that way in the corner of a wall. Now the other way that you can play around with is using an open door frame. You can put your elbows at about a 90-degree angle here with almost about shoulder height. And what we're going to do is we're just going to walk in and push forward so that, again, we're opening up the pec region in the chest. Once we get there, we're going to chill out here for about 1 to 2 minutes. Now, those are great stretches, and that's how you open up and stretch the pecs. It's more important to do them frequently throughout the day than to just do it for one long time once a day. If you can get up 2 or 3 times throughout the day, or more even, and then just do that for even 10 to 20 seconds, that's gonna have a huge impact on your upper body to start loosening up, your chest to start loosening up, and your shoulders to start getting back to where they should be. So now that we just went over the pec stretch for neck and upper back pain, when we talk about shoulder pain, which is also super common, especially with the shoulder that people mouse on all day long, again, the pecs are gonna be super involved in that. The reason is because when you take the shoulder, this is the right shoulder model here, when the pecs get tight, and again, they get tight from sitting in this position, from our hands being forward, from being on the keyboard, from mousing, from driving, anything that our hands go forward and are in that position for a long time, the pecs are gonna start tightening up. And then when we try to have normal posture, we walk around and we sit, our shoulders are not gonna sit back like they should. They're gonna be getting pulled forward. So what that looks like on this model is this. The shoulder starts getting pulled forward. Now the reason that's a problem for the shoulder and can lead to shoulder pain here is because the top rotator cuff muscle starts getting pulled forward and butting up against the front bone of the shoulder blade. When that happens, now all the little micro movements that we're doing is causing that rotator cuff muscle to start having friction on the front bone of the scapula here, of the shoulder blade. And that friction over time will cause inflammation. And you won't feel it right away, but after doing that for months on end, you'll go to sleep one night, or you'll do something, you might throw something, you'll do something that'll just kind of overflow the cup, so to speak. So all of these micro movements are kind of filling up this cup, and it hasn't reached that critical point yet, but all of a sudden you're gonna sleep on your arm, you're gonna do something, and the cup's gonna overflow, and now you're gonna wake up with shoulder pain, wondering how you got shoulder pain from sleeping. And it's not from sleeping, it's from the sitting that you're doing all day, every day. And so what we need to do is the same thing. So you can use that same stretch that I just showed you for the pecs for the shoulder. One more thing I wanna show you for the shoulder though is being able to use a lacrosse ball or some type of pressure that actually gets into this top rotator cuff muscle, because you can get into that guy and you can loosen it up so it can help resolve the pain faster. So let me show you that stretch now. All right, so I want you to get a lacrosse ball. If you don't have a lacrosse ball, you can pick it up on Amazon, usually for like $6 or something, or you can go to closest Walmart, but these guys are everywhere. So try to get a lacrosse ball. And what it is it's this hard ball that you can use on a lot of different areas of your body. And in this video, I'm just gonna show it on one spot for that shoulder pain that I was talking about. So it's gonna sit right on this top rotator cuff muscle, which is right underneath the traps. You wanna find it doesn't have to be a door, but it can be a corner of a wall or just some place where you can get this ball into that's kind of open next to it. So what you wanna do is you wanna get the ball, put it on the muscle first, because if you put it on the door, you're gonna be trying to figure out how, like, you're gonna be playing around and you won't get to it right away. It'll be hard to find. Put it right on the muscle, hold it there with a finger or two, bend down and put it right into the wall or the door. Once you're here, you can just massage back and forth. You can kind of search. Once you find a spot, you can go back and forth. Or you can also take your arm and put it behind your back over and over like this. This one is a really, really good move, a really good stretch. What you're doing is you're pinning down the muscle and you're forcing that muscle when you put it behind your back to start gliding and sliding. So you're forcing that muscle to open up, and you'll feel it. When you put the ball here and you put that arm behind the back, it's going to make it a little bit more intense. So you'll feel it working. Again, with this exercise, guys, you want to do it maybe once or twice a day. If you feel this area start to be bothering you, grab a little cross ball, just take a few seconds to go over to a corner of a wall and open that guy up a little bit. Now keep in mind, if you have shoulder pain, this is not the only thing to do, but you also want to open up the pecs as well, just like I showed you in the last exercise. All right, so the last thing that I want to go over is low back pain. So a lot of times when we're sitting for months on end, especially at home, we're not in a good office chair with a back support, with something that's keeping our spine in a good position. We could be on the couch with our back kind of sinking in, or we can even be on the bed for a long time. And the reason that that's a problem is because our low back is supposed to have this curve, this nice C-shaped curve that goes this kind of forward direction like that. Now, when we're sitting for a long time, not only do we completely lose that curve, but if we sink into the couch or the bed, it actually, or even just the chair, if it's not a good office chair, our back will actually start to reverse. We'll get this reverse curve. And what that does is it puts an enormous amount of stress on the discs in the front. This will make it more likely for those discs to start having that pressure that's pushing backwards towards the back of the spine, and it can start to light up those nerves, or at least cause inflammation in that area. These joints also don't like being in this position because it's just not the natural position for the spine to sit into. And so we just get this compressive force that kind of locks up our spine. Our back will start feeling very tight. We'll have restricted movement, and we'll start to get this achiness. The worst case scenario is we might start feeling pain that goes down the legs, a sciatica type of thing. So what we want to do is, again, the best thing you could do is to get up frequently and not to sit for hours on end. But I'm going to show you another thing that you could do, a super simple exercise. You've probably seen it before, but it's an important one for the low back, because if you actually do this regularly, it can help to mitigate and help to undo some of what that sitting is doing for your low back. So let me show you that now. All right, guys, so with the low back stretch, it's a very simple move. If any of you are in yoga, you've definitely seen this before, but it's just the cobra pose. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can open up your low back, but this is just one of them, and it's a really good one that you can try, especially if you're having pain from sitting for a long time. So the way that it looks, if you haven't seen it before, is you go face down. You could do this on the floor, but I don't recommend doing it on a couch or a bed because it's too soft. So you want to do this on the ground, and you just put your hands in front of you. You push up, straighten your elbows. You can go slow. When you get up, what you might find is your back wants to tense. And if your back stays tense, it's going to hold you up kind of in this position. It won't let your pelvis relax towards the ground. So what you want to do is you want to take a breath, and on the out breath, really try to get that belly button to start going towards the ground so that you're really creating a nice curve in your low back. Now you can sit here, you don't have to sit here for too long. It could just be 10-20 seconds. Then you can go back down. You can kind of relax again and then push back up. And same thing. If you do that a few times, if you kind of go back up and down like this, what you might find is that when you first start doing the movement, your back is really stiff and you might not be able to get up all the way with being fully relaxed. But if you go through maybe 10-15 repetitions or so of that stretch, it'll keep opening up and getting looser and looser, and that's a good sign. It shows your back is starting to open. That's going to be increasing the disc space. That's going to be allowing everything to start feeling more normal. So if you start noticing aches, pain when you're sitting for a long time in the low back, just try this stretch, give it a few days in a row, see if it helps you, but definitely give it a shot. All right, well, there you go. I really hope that these tips help you and serve you. And even though they're quite simple, if you put them into practice every day, they can make a powerful impact. And even if you're not experiencing any pain just yet, putting them into practice now can help set you up so we prevent issues and you prevent pain that could happen later. Just like you don't only start brushing your teeth after you have a cavity. Preventative care can be super important too. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will definitely get back to you and answer any questions you have about any of this. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and I really hope you have a great rest of your day.